Trading for Max Strus was the biggest move of the offseason for the Cleveland Cavaliers. They ditched longtime fan favorite Cedi Osman and committed to a 4-year, $62 million deal with Strus, hoping that his talents as a sharpshooter would provide the fix their offense needed. So far, the numbers would lead you to believe this experiment has been a failure. Strus is shooting what would be a career-low 33% from deep and has had some ice-cold stretches throughout the season. This isn't what was advertised, and yet, Strus has managed to be an overwhelming positive in his minutes on the floor. He's a plus 295 this season, the second highest on the Cavs and 19th in the NBA overall. Strus has worked as the connective tissue in Cleveland's starting lineup, filling the gap as a multifaceted player. Strus can handle the rock in a pick and roll, but he can also fly off a pin down and drill a movement three-pointer. While his accuracy has been less than desired, notice how tightly contested his three-point attempts always are. Strus has attempted the 9th most contested three-pointers in the league this season, because his reputation for being a knockdown shooter precedes him, and that has led to opposing defenses continuing to respect him even when he's in a drought. Say what you will about his three-point percentage, but the ability to do this is exactly why Strus is feared by opponents. And above all else, it's the volume at which Strus lets it fly that causes him to demand attention from other teams. The oven is always on, and you just can't leave this guy alone, or he has the potential to burn the whole house down. I've referenced this Toronto game in the past, but Strus goes from scoreless in the first half to erupting for 4 three-pointers in a matter of minutes to completely change the course of the game.
8th miss of the night.
Oh, they're missing at the free throw line. They're really struggling.
Strus. Oh, my!
You better be ready.
This type of get-hot-in-a-hurry performance is why the Cavs signed him. Volume is more important than efficiency in today's NBA, and volume is exactly what the Cavs were previously missing at their starting small forward position. Strus is attempting a whopping 7 three-pointers per game, which would blow last year's supporting cast out of the water. And even at his 33% clip, Strus is on pace to finish with the 3rd or 4th most three-pointers made in a single season in Cavalier history. Last year, Darius, Garland, and Donovan Mitchell were the only Cavaliers to place in the NBA's top 75 for three-pointers attempted. This season, Strus is all the way up to 18th. Overall, the Cavs are attempting far more three-pointers than a year ago, and Strus is a big reason for it. His volume has proven to be a valuable asset in itself, because of the way it changes the flow of the game. These dribble handoffs are tough to defend because opponents have to fight over the screen or risk giving Strus a clean look. Detroit goes under, so Strus drills a 3. And because he's so willing to shoot, defenders are going to make sure they don't give him any daylight. This leads to some great moments where Strus gets downhill and strikes a connection with one of Cleveland's big men.
Especially when he does our games, I'll critique him tomorrow and tell him all the calls he missed.
Allen, what a beat from Max Strus.
And Strus is great at feeling when the defense is overcommitting, rejecting screens, and causing a breakdown by being a cutter. Chris Middleton is playing topside to watch Strus as he pops out after setting a screen, but Strus recognizes the angle and takes it backdoor to put Milwaukee in a compromising position. These instincts, paired with Strus's gravity, makes him a lethal weapon. This is all stuff that wasn't possible from last year's supporting cast, but has become a staple of the current Cavs offense. Strus isn't the only volume shooter making a difference. Sam Merrill is on a historic pace from downtown, letting it go the second he takes his warm-ups off. The Cavs offense receives a jolt like no other when Merrill is on the floor due to his frenetic off-ball energy and willingness to shoot. Even George Niang, who has drawn much ire from the fan base, has contributed to the Cavaliers' newfound style by being a rapid-fire specialist. The Cavs are starting to play the numbers game like everyone else, and it's paying off for them in a big way. Last season, they attempted 40 or more three-pointers in just 6 total games. They've done that 20 times already this season, with a healthy 15-5 record in those games. In contrast, the Cavs are a negative 4 and 5 when attempting fewer than 30 3-pointers. Again, compare this to last year, where they fell below 33-point attempts in nearly half of their games. This team is playing radically different basketball, and everyone has benefited. As much as the additions of Strus, Niang, and Merrill have made a difference, the way in which Donovan Mitchell has blossomed as a playmaker is just as much of a factor. He monitors the Cavs' pulse on offense, throwing look-ahead passes and encouraging his teammates to fire at will. Mitchell's knack for penetrating the defense and finding open teammates on the kickout is incredible, and it's something that has really made all the difference for Cleveland. But if Strus and the others weren't totally bought into the idea of volume over everything, we would see a repeat of last season with a more stagnated offense. This isn't the case anymore, as Strus has helped bring a new philosophy to the floor, prioritizing volume the way it should be, and the Cavaliers are much better off because of it.